Distinguished guests, dear friends, very warm greetings to you all. I deeply regret that I cannot be with you in person at this important side event, but I am very pleased to join you through this message. I wish to congratulate the organizers and in particular the governments of Sweden and Paraguay for promoting this important event. I'm truly encouraged that in the lead-up to the post-2015 Global Development Agenda, there is a wide consensus on the need to explicitly incorporate the protection of girls and boys from all forms of violence in the new Sustainable Development Goals. In this regard, I very much welcome the outcome document of the Open Working Group, which not only gives distinct priority to children's protection from violence, but also recognizes violence against children as a cross-cutting concern. The protection of children from violence has been voiced as a special concern by many national consultations held around the world to inform the post-2015 Global Development Agenda. Time and time again, children and young people, alongside other stakeholders involved in this process, have highlighted a constant and clear concern. Violence is a major obstacle to child development, and it needs to be brought to an end. We all know the detrimental impact that violence has on the life of children. But beyond individual child victims, violence compromises social progress and sustainable development. It is frequently associated with poor rule of law, weak law enforcement, high rates of homicide, high incidence of organized crime, and overall a culture of impunity. Moreover, violence diverts billions of dollars from social spending, slowing economic development and eroding nations' human and social capital. Put simply, violence can quickly destroy social and economic gains that took years and decades to build. If we fail to protect children from violence and to prevent its harmful consequences on children's health, education, and development, the sustainable social and economic development of nations cannot be fully achieved. In my view, in order to continue mobilizing action and leverage progress in the years to come, 4 crucial steps are of essence. Firstly, the elimination of violence against children must remain a distinct target in itself and continue to be recognized as a cross-cutting concern, especially under the goals concerning education, gender equality, economic growth and decent work, and the safety of cities and human settlements. Strengthening the role of the health system in preventing and addressing violence is also crucial. Globally, the consequences of violence on children's health and development are well documented. Violence is an essential human rights concern, but it is also a critical public health question that the new development goals must address. Secondly, we must be clear on the international definition of violence against children as articulated in the Convention on the Rights of the Child. There can be no room for ambiguity. The right of the child to freedom from violence is unequivocal, and it lies at the heart of the Convention. It is inherent to the human dignity of the child, and it stands as a crucial indicator of how genuine the commitment of any nation is to safeguarding children's human rights. This year, as you know, we celebrate the Convention's 25th anniversary, and as member states intensify efforts to agree on the next generation development framework, we have a golden opportunity to tackle this long-standing area of concern. Thirdly, there are measurable indicators to mobilize and monitor progress in this important agenda. Sound data already exists on strategic-related dimensions, including child and maternal mortality, homicide rates, incidents of sexual and physical violence, female genital mutilation, child and forced marriage, and violent child disciplinary practices. Similarly, there is data on attitudes towards violence, confidence in justice and security institutions, and willingness to report on incidents of violence. In the area of violence against children, the international community can clearly capitalize on the very important work done within and beyond the UN system, including by organizations such as UNICEF, UNFPA, UNODC, and other child protection actors. The international community needs to measure what it treasures, and we must join hands to monitor progress over time in this very critical area. Finally, it is imperative to take into consideration the views expressed by those who are most affected, children and young people themselves. Their voice leaves no doubt as to the priority attached to freedom from violence, but they need to enjoy a genuine opportunity of influencing the shaping of the road ahead, not simply in accidental occasions, but as true partners and agents of change. Moving forward, it is essential to consolidate the gains that have been obtained through the open working group process and redouble efforts to ensure that the vision and commitments to the protection of children from violence remain at the heart of the agenda. I'm confident we will continue to join hands in the months ahead to place the protection of boys and girls from all forms of violence everywhere and at all times at the center of the global development agenda. This is not just an ethical and human rights imperative, it is also a question of good governance, and it makes sound economic sense. I wish you much success and thank you for your attention.